Hey gamers, Cybersnags back guys. This is another part to my ntsc Super Nintendo collection and we're on the letter C guys. Obviously I've got 6 games to show in this vid. A varied selection, platformers, shoot 'em up and a couple of side scrolling beat 'em ups. Now my collection, I'm going to admit now, ain't perfect unfortunately. What you've seen so far, really good quality stuff, very looked after games. But there's 2 games in my collection that definitely need replacing, and the first 2 you're going to see are them games. One is a rare title, a really rare title, but still not the greatest of games. I just don't understand why it's so rare. But anyway, the first game in the C slot of games is this one, Captain Commando. Obviously this is a very rare title to come across. And as you can see at first glance, this box looks really tidy, really smart, and it is that, there's no 2 ways about it. But the unfortunate thing about this is it's a repo box. Obviously I've had this a number of years in my collection. I got this back when I first started getting into my Super Nintendo collection again. And the only saving grace about this is I bought this off a friend for £10. So obviously it's not such a bad deal after all, because I know full well I'll get my money back on the cartridge, because the cartridge is absolutely pristine, plays like a dream, and you know, and the repo box it's in I'm quite happy with for the time being until I can pick up an original. So this will be going eventually. But as I say, the game is a very rare game, and I honestly don't know why, because it isn't the greatest of side-scrolling beat 'em ups, to be honest with you. Graphically isn't great, and I find you go through it and it's very, very easy as far as I'm concerned. But why it's so rare is beyond me. But at the end of the day, I'm glad to have this copy at the moment until it can be replaced, and believe me, it's going to be replaced. So this will be going soon, guys. So there is Captain Commando. Right, the next one is another side-scrolling beat 'em up, and this is yet another one I bought when I very first started back up on my Super Nintendo quest. When I bought this at first glance, it looked in really good condition, but the obvious signs will be shown when I actually show it you. The next game is the Combo Tribes. Now obviously, yet again at first glance this looks shiny, nice, really good condition, and that's what I thought, because it does. You got the manual, the instructions, you got you know, everything in there. The cartridge is mint condition, but the box itself has an issue. Now thankfully I only paid £20 for this, so I weren't too fussed about it. But obviously, yeah, this is another one to be replaced. Now let's take a look at the box and find out why. Now if you look, you'll see lines through the box all the way across, and all the way across there like so, and there, and if you look very closely you'll see lines all the way across. Now what's happened there is some bloody idiot has decided to sellotape around the box all the way across and all the way down the sides. Why? I just haven't the foggiest idea. And when I received it like it, I weren't too fussed at the time, because I paid 20 quid for it. I thought, I've never played the game, I'm giving it a try, and it looked in really good condition, and I never thought about just sending it back and getting my money back. Don't ask me why, it just happened. Now if it had obviously been nowadays, I'd have threw it back I'd have threw it out the window and just said, like, have you fucking going back, basically. So there's no way on this planet I would have had a game of this shit quality in my collection. But anyway, yes, I kept it, I played it, and you know, the game ain't a bad side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's difficult, very, very difficult, no 2 ways about it. Obviously, it's similar to like a Double Dragon style of game, but you get like 3 sections per level, and then you get a boss. But obviously, the further you go along, the harder it gets. And if you play 2 players, you think you'd get more continues, but you don't. You share the continues between 2 players, which makes it even harder. But so the game itself is not a bad little side-scrolling beat 'em up. Very short but very difficult. But as I say, this one definitely to be replaced, unfortunately. But there you go. That's the second game. That is the Combo Tribes. Now let's get back onto some proper games. Now this one is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Never really played it before, and I never even considered buying it. But this one was another nice cheapie. I got this for a tenner, and it is Choplifter, and this one is in really nice condition. Minor shelf wear on this one, obviously. No dinks, no dents. But as I say, the game itself plays like all versions of Choplifter. It's like a side-scrolling action game. You know the score. Everybody knows Choplifter. Save the prisoners, take them back to the camp. But on this one, you get like boss levels. And I've only played it twice, and I've got to the second boss. And it's not a bad little title, but it's blooming difficult. I gotta admit, getting used to the controls for this game is quite difficult. But I'm rubbish on some games, to be honest. Not all games, but some games. But as I say, I haven't given it enough time. But for a tenner, I'm not arguing. It's a nice little title to add to the collection. But there you go. Again, with the old box. Absolutely mint condition for a tenner. So, well happy with that one. So, there's the next game, guys. That is Choplifter. And now the next one is a beast of a game, and if you're looking behind you, you'll know exactly what it is. It's Contra 3. Absolutely superb. The Alien Wars. Now this is obviously the ntsc version, better artwork. Obviously, you know full well the Contra 3 in America. You have proper like human marines in this one. Which slightly differs to the PAL version, which is like 2 robots, and the name change as well, obviously Probotector. But to be honest, I do prefer this one over the Probotector, the PAL one. But I've still got my very first edition that I ever bought when I very first bought my PAL Super Nintendo. I've still got that in a box. So once I've gone through my ntsc games, I'll just show the few PAL games that I've got, because I have got a few PAL games, and I'm still going to pick up a few PAL games because there are a few that I had when I very first bought the system, which I do want to continue and get back, as well as having them on the ntsc. That's it. I just love the Super NES, simple as. But yeah, Contra Alien Wars, absolutely superb game, rock hard as per usual per Contra game. I've completed this on normal. But obviously, the better the setting, the higher the setting you go, obviously, the better the ending is. But trying to do it is, just for me, physically impossible. But I still absolutely adore the game. It's easily one of the best side-scrolling shoot-'em-up platformers that I've ever played anyway. So, there's the next one, guys. That is Contra 3. And then we have another platformer. This one I bought on a whim, to be honest. I've never really liked this series of games, but as I say, this was another cheapie, and I got this for 15 quid. So, and it's in really nice condition as well, and it is Cool Spot. As you can see, not bad at all, concerning the old overall look of the game. You obviously got minor shelfware, that corner, which is a bit of a bummer, but never mind. And that one's fine. But the game itself, you know, franchise game from obviously the main character from like the 7-Up adverts and the pop that you could buy. But there's a variation of these games. I've only played this one, and I've got one on the Master System, which is technically the same. But the Mega Drive version is, I think Spot Goes to Hollywood. That's supposed to be probably one of the better ones to actually play, because it's like a different perspective when you play the game. But this one, you know, it's an average platformer. You know, does what it says on the tin. You obviously play through the level, collect your 7-Up spots, and then you got bonus levels to collect extra lives and things like that. But the game can get quite tasty, to be honest with you. But you know, all in all, cheap little title, and you know, not one that's going to be bad to add to your collection if you if you fancy this kind of casual platformer. So there's the next one, guys. That is Cool Spot. Right, this one's a short one, guys. This is the last of the C, and this is another classic. One I originally bought on the PAL Super Nintendo, but I swapped it. And now, unfortunately, I got rid of that, and I wished I hadn't for the PAL version. It was yet another one that I had, original one, my original PAL releases that I bought, but I got rid of it, unfortunately. But anyway, the next one is this one, which is Cybernator. Absolutely classic side-scrolling mech shooter. Really, really do like this game. There's a little funny story about this, because when I was actually bidding on eBay for this, there's another fellow YouTuber, Richard. His name used to be, what's his name now? Oh, I can't remember. He's a local boy. He only lives around the corner from me anyway, but he's actually changed his name. Rich something. Oh God, he's going to kill me. You know what I mean? He does all the playthroughs and all that. So sorry, Rich. I can't remember your bloody his channel name. Apologies, mate. But he's a massive Super Nintendo fan. And anyway, we went on, and this guy was buying, selling loads of Super Nintendo games. And this one was one of them, and Batman Returns, which I've already showed you, was one of them. And obviously, meaning was head to head. We was bidding on all these games that this guy had, and this particular one, he PM'd me after obviously I'd won this one, and he goes, "You're very lucky to win this, because as he was actually bidding on it, he had a pizza delivery, and he answered the door, and he lost it because he had to pay for his pizza." So I'm one up on you with this one, mate. I'm glad to get this one too, right? But as I say, brilliant side-scrolling action platformer, graphically really good, classic music, and yet again, absolutely pristine condition, this one, as per. But there you go, guys. That is the final one of the C selection of my Super Nintendo games. Obviously moving on to D, and you'll have some nice ones in that one. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Obviously do comment, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next ntsc Super Nintendo collection video. So as always, guys, I am Cybersnake7. Keep playing, keep watching.